My DIY robot lawnmower definitely needs an enclosure, and today I will be designing one with a forgotten function in Fusion. Everything will be 3D printed and assembled in my workshop. We'll put it on the mower and test how it works. And all of that because I want to replace a traditional lawnmower with a robot so that it does all the work for me. I started from scratch and I'm designing every single piece for this mower using a CNC machine, 3D printer. I make custom PCBs, custom parts, and I share everything here on my YouTube channel. I test the mower in my workshop and in front of my workshop on the grass. It's a lot of fun and you can see all the videos from this series on my YouTube channel. But today I will focus only on the body, on the enclosure, the top part of the mower. I'm starting to work on the top enclosure of the whole body of the IndyMower, and after a few hours of design I have that. I mean, I always wanted to design a battle bot and never did, so I think that kind of counts, but I'm truly not happy with this design. It's so ugly. I tried to fix it and improve, but honestly this design is so wrong that I don't think there is any way to get it to look nice. Yesterday I had a meeting with some Fusion creators that also use Fusion from Autodesk, and they told me about using form. We had a little talk and they showed how it works, and I played with it a little bit, and that seemed like a perfect solution to what I'm doing. The idea of using form seemed very nice, but I've never used it before and I had no idea if I will actually manage to do it, so this was just a test design to see if this will work for the case of the IndyMower, and of course it did. But before designing something final, I had to do one more thing. Outside there is a lot of snow, but inside here in the workshop it's quite warm thanks to that, and it's quite cozy actually. I never really cleaned it after cutting all the grass, so that was a good moment and I did it with compressed air. Okay, the plan is very simple. The mower... Here I have been just talking too much, so let me show you my plan. It's simple yet professional and explains everything. Okay, so now that the mower is clean, I think it will make most sense to just take it home and try to scan it there. And no worries, we'll be back in the workshop for the assembly and connecting everything together, but for now, let's go home. Before I will design the final version of the body for the IndyMower, I want to make sure that my CAD model is exactly the same as the one in the physical world. And I will do that with the sponsor of this video, RivoPoint, and their 3D scanner. They let me use their Mini 2 version to scan my IndyMower, and I have been using it for other stuff too, and this scanner is truly amazing. Just look how small it is, and it is precise up to 0.02 millimeters. The best part for me is that, of course, you can just connect it to your computer and scan everything there with your software, but you can even connect it to your smartphone and scan on the go very easily and process all the scanned objects on your phone and just simply export an STL file. Most of the scanners that I used were just scanning the shape of the object, but Mini 2 can also scan the colors. This is a scanner meant for scanning smaller objects, but it doesn't mean that you cannot scan something bigger like the IndyMower. So I had to use markers, these little stickers on top of the surface of the IndyMower to get a really nice scan, and I really do not wanted it to be like super perfect from all the sides. I just wanted to know where the plates are, the aluminum profiles, and all the things mounted on the IndyMower. Take a look at how small this setup is. It's literally just power bank, the tripod, phone, and the scanner. You can hold it all in one hand, and it's very light, so that makes it pretty comfortable to scan. Okay, now I even have the GoPro on to look stupid and record everything from my perspective. Scanning the bigger objects is way easier with the markers, because even when the scanner loses the tracking, it can easily find its location thanks to the markers. It was literally a 5, maybe 10 minute scan. It was very easy to do, and then about 20 minutes of processing and I got an STL file. Sure, it's not perfect, but it's good enough, and I can see that both models do match perfectly. 3D scanning is truly an amazing technology. These days it's very affordable and super easy to use. If you are looking for a 3D scanner, I can definitely recommend you the Mini 2 from RivoPoint. Go check out links in the description if you are interested. Once you understand it, working with the form is quite easy, as you do everything with just edit form tool, and then if you want to add faces or vertices, you hold the Alt key and then move something, and that's how I created this very basic shape.
The green line in the middle is a symmetry that you can easily add from the top toolbar, and then you can adjust pretty much everything all the time. You can also scale, for example, the vertices as I do right now to like kind of close it on the sides. I will give you a link to a pretty good YouTube video that explains how to work with form and all the different tools that you can find there. Once you understand how to use it all, it's pretty much just about finding the shape that works for you, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. And once I was happy with the shape, I just clicked the green button at the top and started designing as usual. I started by removing all the things that were not necessary, and I had no idea how to remove them in the form. I also cut the place for the wheels and then added the thickness. I was thinking about 3 millimeters in the first place, but actually I went with 5, and I think that was a pretty good decision. Great thing about the form and Fusion in general is that you have the history, so if you do not like something, you can just go back and adjust it without any problems, and you don't have to redo all the modeling. I don't want to bore you with the details, so here is the final design. I added the flap. I had to divide it into 6 segments so that I can print it on Bamboo printers. I also added the attachment points to attach it to the chassis and some places for the screws so that I can join all the 6 pieces together. Designing like this is something completely different because instead of thinking about the dimensions, 20 millimeters there, 50 millimeters there, you can focus on just your creative process and changing the shape, making it weird. It's all nice, smooth. It's something completely different than like designing traditionally in CAD, designing everything in sketches and then extruding various parts. It is such a good tool in Fusion that I completely forgot about and actually never truly used, so I'm glad I did for this project. I started printing on X1 Carbon, very fast printer. On Ender 3 it would take probably a week to print all of these parts, and just in time I got my A1, where I also started printing the parts. In fact, the very first print on this printer was a 6-hour long print part for the IndyMower. That's how much I trust these printers. There was also a lot of supports to remove, of course, and I used 3 supports to save some filament, and these were very easy to remove. Here I have 50 hours of printing time. I have been running that on 2 printers, Bamboo X1 Carbon and A1, and the prints are perfect. I'm super happy with it. And honestly, considering the size of this thing, the printing time wasn't that bad, and there was quite a lot of supports to remove. And in total, this is like not even full 2 kilograms of filament, including the supports. I would say like 1.8 kilograms of filament for the case, which is a lot, but it's big. I did a quick dry fit to make sure that everything works together nicely and fits on the IndyMower. I also had to rearrange some of the components that were fixed to the chassis because these were colliding with my features that were used to attach to the IndyMower, but that was an easy fix. There are no holes on the plates used to attach the body to the chassis, and of course I could disassemble completely the machine, put the plates on CNC or make it from scratch. But actually it was just easier to drill it by hand, so I measured everything in Fusion, drew where I need to drill the holes and drew all of them. It took an hour, but it was quicker than machining new plates. I'm not a fan of glue in any way, and that's truly getting out of my comfort zone to use glue in a project. I avoid it at all costs always. And I don't really remember when was the last time when I used CA glue. The goal is very simple, just not to get both of my hands glued together like the last time. So I don't really have a very strict plan. I will just probably apply the glue on one part and then put them together, fix with screws and maybe hold for like a minute or 2. I don't know, let's just try it and see what happens. The biggest problem with glue is that it's basically a one-way process. Here's the front, this is the back, this is the middle part, all glued together in sections, and now I'll put glue on each one and just put them all together, also with screws and with some clamps. Okay, now that the glue is dry, it really feels like one piece. And it is so big that imagine how big the 3D printer should be to print something this big. Even Snapmaker Artisan that I have in my room is not big enough to print it in one piece. So that's pretty cool, but now that I'm looking at all the glue marks, I'm considering if I should actually paint it. No, it's unfortunately not worth it. I don't think so, at least not at the moment. I don't think it's doable to like screw the screws from the bottom side, so I will just try to flip it. I'm not sure how to do it right, but okay, that totally works. It is getting quite heavy, I do like it a lot. And now I will add the covers for the lights in the front and in the back, but for that I will bring it back home. And will there be light or will it blow up? Yes, it works. Okay, I might have forgotten that it is running the code that is automatically turning on the mower. What do you think about this design? I like it a lot, and so does my girlfriend. She said it looks like a shark, which it truly does. And she even designed this little cute shark based on my IndyMower. It was printed with IMS on Bamboo app, and the model will be linked in the description if you want to print it yourself.
Look out, he got away. Get back down, you got a break. Don't straight, they say that's just how it goes.